Good evening and welcome to the Arundel Camera Club live stream for Wednesday, November 4th, 2020. My name is John Milliker and I'm the club president for the 2020-2021 season. The Arundel Camera Club was founded in 1957 and exists to promote the art, science, and education in all aspects and fields of photography. Normally we meet at 7 p.m. every Wednesday evening during the school year in Severna Park, Maryland. However, with the current disruptions, we've decided to continue business as normal in a virtual space, which allows us to protect our members and guests from the current COVID-19 situation. For more information about us, please visit www.arundelcameraclub.org. Before we get to tonight's topic, we have a few upcoming schedule items to cover, and for that, I will turn it over to our program's chair, Christine Milliker.
Good evening. Wednesday, November 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a program from Greg Holden on the theme of leading lines. And then on Wednesday, November 18th is our photo competition. Color and monochrome digital photos with no theme. We have an open theme for this month. Keep an eye out for an email from our contest chair, Lewis, for instructions. And if you have questions about competitions and submitting your own photos, please see our website or contact Lewis at contests@arundelcameraclub.org or ask here in our group. On Thursday, November 19th is our rescheduled Brian Buru's fundraiser. Please see the email for information on that. Wednesday, November 25th, we have no meeting because of Thanksgiving being on Thursday the 26th. But our photo assignment for the month of November is due by 6:15 that night. Please have your submissions in. Our theme for November is baking and cooking. Then on December 2nd, we will be discussing the photos that are submitted. And we will be voting for that week on our favorite photos from that month. On December 9th is our digital photography contest with the theme of leading lines. Tonight, we will be discussing our entries into our October photo assignment on board games and card games. Feel free to share your own thoughts in chat on Facebook or join us over on StreamYard if you want to, and you can help join us to discuss the photos there. On to our photos on StreamYard. And as we go, whenever we get to it, I will tell you which photo won our vote over on Facebook. Our first photo is this one from Doug Wood, Dungeons and Dragons. Castles and Dragons was the name of it. Do we have any comments we want to share on this? We have Mike and Rich joining us over on StreamYard right now. Hi, everyone over on Facebook.
And Mike and Rich, when you're ready, go ahead and unmute your mics. And we are also in private chat on StreamYard, just in case, although we don't need to. I've also included the link in the Facebook chat. We have two openings on that chat, that StreamYard right now. If anyone would like to join us with some critique, we'd love to have you.
It's an interesting concept. I don't think it's anything I would have ever thought of to just superpose the two pictures. I think there's probably a lot more that could be done with it, but I don't know exactly what. Oops, I just saw somebody else in there. Anyway, I would have never thought of that.
I like the concept. It's definitely a superimposed manual with some of the playthings for Dungeons and Dragons for playing the game. Superimposed onto a nice castle photo. I find it very interesting.
My question is that a real photo? Did Doug take that castle photo and then just put the book over top of it? That's my question, because that almost looks like a CGI photo. Well, maybe not, looking at the leaves on the trees.
Yeah, I can't answer that.
My guess is he took that photo, but I don't know. It's interesting the way he has superimposed the image of the of the Dungeons and Dragon dice and mat and background over the castle. I don't have any of my Dungeons and Dragons stuff, so I really like this. Yeah, that's my entire college life right there.
Yeah, I remember playing myself. Okay.
You guys are young. That's what my son did.
Okay. Any
That's
comments?
interesting. That's interesting. That's a very interesting thing to tie a real location up with kind of a fantasy thing, and I like the combination of that.
Yeah. Any comments over on Facebook? I don't see any. So, do we have anyone else who wanted to give any comments? I heard a couple people come in.
I don't think so. I think
No?
I think we
Okay.
have Lewis in. Lewis, I'm going to mute your mic because I hear a TV. I'm just going to turn that down. When you're ready to talk, just use the private chat, and we'll unmute you.
Objection, Your Honor. Witness is private affairs are
Objection.
Okay, the next photo is, it looks like the same Dungeons and Dragons theme in front of a different castle in a different mix-up.
Do we have Doug in the Facebook chat? I don't see him.
don't
Doug, are
see
you in the Facebook chat? Can you give us a little bit more information on the images in the background? But again, I still like the idea. I can see the old one being kind of like I guess they do the campaigns in Dungeons and Dragons. I can see that being a kind of a castle campaign, where this is kind of more of a Sahara, kind of has like a Sahara or desert look.
Yeah, I actually think this one works even a little better than the other one. Although the castle's really cool, I think this portrait orientation kind of worked better.
Yeah.
I like it better too, because the Dungeons and Dragons part takes up pretty much the lower part and leads you up into the top without the stuff over on the side.
Oh, Doug said that it's Edinburgh Castle.
Wow,
Okay.
very nice, Doug.
Okay.
Now, I want to know what Doug's connection with Dungeons and Dragons is. Is Doug a Dungeons and Dragons player? Elaine says her sons would both love this photo. They used to play every week.
My son still gets together with his old high school buddies. He's 50 now,
Wow.
and they play.
Doug says the second photo is a Roman palace in Croatia.
Wow.
And I did ask him to share with us how he made it. But,
We can always go back. We don't have that many photos tonight.
the next one is from Edna Hinky. And it's Scrabble. I like this. It's creative. Lots of different words. I like that it's on the beach.
Now, I don't play Scrabble. What's the empty block on the left? Is Ed cheating here, or is that like a random, like a wild card?
There are blank tiles that you
Okay.
can fill in for anything.
Yeah, they're blank wild cards.
But it's worth no points, and you have to keep it the letter that it was originally meant. So if you use it for another word, like it looks like
Helps
they
you
said
make
do.
extra words.
Okay.
What I like about this is it doesn't look like he set this up for the assignment this month. I think he was at the beach playing Scrabble.
That's cool.
Over in Facebook, Doug answered our questions about his photos. He says, it's an overlay. I set up the map scene and photographed it, then did the overlay. Both backgrounds are my pictures. I've been playing D&D 48 years and a lot online now.
Nice.
So
Doug, I didn't figure that you would use somebody else's photo, but the first photo of the castle looks so CGI. I don't know why it looks so CGI to me. It's wild. But very nice.
but I like this Scrabble one. Any other feedback on this Scrabble?
That is a sandy game of Scrabble. If somebody table flips that board, you're gonna be in a world of hurt.
Looks like it's on a tempered glass table too, so you don't have a lot of extra space on that table.
Do we have Ed in the chat? Ed, who won?
I don't see him yet.
Okay.
Next one is David Joyner's chess pawns. I like the glow of this. I like how the pawns are lit up and the rest aren't. But you can still see the other. But you get more in focus as you go back, which I'm not sure I like.
I like the outlines, yeah.
Yeah, he did that separation not only with light, but with focus.
I think I'd rather have the back be out of focus though, and the ones in the clear front be more in focus. But that's my opinion.
I like the idea of looking through the out of focus pieces. I kind of like the look of that. And hopefully David's in chat. David, can you tell us how you lit this? I'm guessing this is a underlit, either glass or acrylic pieces, and maybe it's even an acrylic or glass board as well.
Over in Facebook for the Scrabble on the beach one, Susan says, "Good on Ed to remember the theme all those weeks ago when he was at the beach."
Susan, Ed is the first person to submit any photos for these photo assignments.
And they're usually like right as we hand out the topic.
Well, no, he waits until after the topic has been
Right.
figured out. So he's doing it in the right month. But yeah, Ed's the first person to be on the ball with these.
But I meant usually it's the first week.
Yeah.
I get them really early from him. Okay.
Mix
Next
these up a
pho-
little, Christine. Don't if this is David's as well, don't kind of mix them up a little bit.
This is also Ed. Monopoly. Nice setup. A little out of focus on the edges, maybe.
Think so? Yeah.
Looks like some of the focus might actually be under the board. Because if you look at the bottom right corner, what's underneath the glass table looks a little more.
It almost looks like a cell phone shot, and maybe a little bit of shake as well.
Maybe. I still like it. It's well shot. It might be a little better if there was a little more on the bottom of the screen.
I think it's again, they were playing Monopoly and he grabbed a shot. The see-through table kind of takes away from some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to nitpick the hotel or house or hotel on the electric company is probably not.
Yeah, not usually.
Anachronistic.
The board must have gotten hit.
Maybe they play by modified rules.
There you go.
They could very well. We sometimes made up our own rules to a lot of games.
That's wild. I'm seeing a theme with Ed's, and you know what? My thought was, if we had Monopoly, we don't even own Monopoly, but my thought was to get kind of down and low, and kind of get that really shallow depth of field across one of the properties, but just kind of down from the top is it's nice. It shows everything that's going on, but artistically, I'm hoping for something a little bit more of a different angle.
Susan over in Facebook says, not as interesting with the background of what is under the game board. Christina says, I keep thinking if it were a real Monopoly game, it would be on the floor with a foot on top of it because someone got mad. And Elaine agrees that the table is distracting.
I only see $1 bills too.
Yeah. Well, it looks like they're stacked down. If you look, there's blue on the right.
Yeah.
It looks like they just
Yeah.
have the ones on top.
Anyway,
Okay.
interesting.
Next
Brings
one.
back memories. Oh yeah.
This is Edna Hinkey Bridge. I like this. The tablecloth here adds a little interest. It gives it a little more going on. But it might be better if the top hand of cards also were flipped around so that it looks like someone's playing someone else instead of playing two hands against themselves.
I have another technical criticism. There's no grand slam there. Ace of diamonds is going to win.
Yeah, I don't know enough about bridge to say anything.
Small slam. Anyway, that's just technical. The fact that he's going to go down one,
Okay.
unless the ace of diamonds is hiding under there and I can't see it. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Anyway, I like the picture.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I like that. That background is nice on there, and the two hands fanned out,
Over.
not evened up.
Yeah. Over in Facebook, Doug Wood says, "How do I get rid of the diamond loser?"
Yep. You don't. You can get rid of one on the heart if you don't get them led.
Did you read Susan's?
There are about the Monopoly game. There are houses on properties that no one seems to own.
Get
Yeah,
out of
we
here with
talked
your
about
logic, Susan.
We talked about that with the electric company. Yeah. And then Doug says if the diamond ace is led, you are down off the top.
Even if it's not led, you're down.
Yeah, I don't know anything about bridge to answer any of those questions. Well, this next one is Mike's, and I like this.
Very clever.
A lot of people seem to have liked this one. This is called Clue, and it's by Mike.
I think it's by Milton Bradley.
I don't think these objects are from the actual game, though.
This is my second try at this one. I tried it at the death contest last year. This is a total new composition, new background, different weapons, but everyone seems to get it right off the bat. That's Clue.
Yeah, I love this. Whenever I opened it when you first sent it to me, I was like, oh man, this one's cool. This had, I think, the second most votes. We'll get to the one with the first most votes. Not that the second most counts, but
Maybe you need to add a spin-off of this, which has Professor Plum and Miss Scarlet, and some representation of them as a follow-on. That would be cute.
I don't seem to have the board game anymore, so I can't use any of the cards or anything as props. I can't have models. This would be perfect for Fred to add Miss Scarlet to the picture.
It might be interesting, search for pictures, except it wouldn't be your pictures. They'd be pictures on the web. Maybe you need Fred to come up with all those characters. I bet he could do it. Colonel Mustard.
I think if I just had been able to place some of the cards, a couple of the cards on the screen, just big enough that you could read them, and it would have worked.
I wonder if getting those cards would be not too expensive on eBay or somewhere.
Maybe a pair of dice up in the corner or something so that you know it's the game.
Yeah.
Over in chat, Susan says Bob likes the flintlock pistol.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
The dragon knife is also pretty cool. But yeah, I knew what this was the second I opened it. I was like, that's creative. Let's go back to one of these.
Here we come.
This is
now
another.
We can see the lighting. It is a glass table.
Nice.
And this is called the chest rook. I guess because it's focused off of the rook on the corner, which I like. I like the silhouettes of this one and.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
You've got a request to move the cursor off the pit.
Moved it already. I'd done that earlier. I saw the comment. Thank you. I've been trying to keep it off. Sometimes I forget. Sorry, guys.
I like this one better than the first one. I'm not sure the reflection helps, but I just think the lighting on the right is really great. Makes it look like ice.
Yeah.
I like this better also.
Christine, is the reflection cut off on the same space that we're seeing?
Yes.
There's no.
No.
Can you zoom out? Do a fill on the.
That's what I.
Tiny bit more.
I'm looking at your screen. You got a little bit more on the bottom. I still don't think it's enough to warrant the reflection. So I'd like to see either more for that reflection, or like Mike said, less.
Yeah.
That's clever. That's creative.
This was the winner for this week.
Hey, congrats,
Nice.
Mike.
I like this. This was cool too. I love the sweatshirt, hooded sweatshirt up around your head, and you look like the serious poker player here.
Is that called All In or something?
Didn't give it the title. I tried to get the reflection of the cards in my glasses, but that just turns out it's a lot harder than you think it is.
Yeah.
But I had the camera on the table right in front of me, just inches away, and I was at 14 millimeter, so it's a wide angle shot with the depth of field to try and get all of the chips of me in focus.
Going back to the last chest one, I have 2 comments that came through. Mary Lou's asking how he lit it. Since he's not here, I can't answer that.
Go back to it. Let's bring it up.
It looks like there's a purple light probably to the right of it, but I could be wrong.
I think I'm going to say underneath.
Underneath. But I can't say for sure. Elaine says she likes the color purple, the transparency of the pieces and the reflections, and the focus on the right.
Very nice.
I'm now a little puzzled about the reflection. I mean, they're sitting on a table, and so that's showing through the other side. What's the reflection?
It's a board setting on a glass table. So I think the board itself may have some reflective see-through quality, and then it's setting on a glass table where you're getting more reflection. Because you even see the edge of the board reflected on the glass table.
Lewis in our StreamYard chat says he thinks the left side is distracting.
Maybe a little bit. I thought I was thinking maybe it would be a stronger image if you just had the right and zoomed in a little bit more. I do love the line of the pawns in the front though. On the right side. That diagonal that it curves, the leading lines. Mary Lou says, I think I would like it without the reflection. But, okay, let's go back to this one. And
now, Susan and I are on the same page because that doesn't look like a sweatshirt. That either looks like a bathrobe or a Halloween cloak or something, because Susan says that sweatshirt looks a bit too swanky to be Mike's.
It is a sweatshirt, but I have to admit it looks more like a bathrobe here.
And Mary Lou says she likes this one a lot. But I love the depth of field that you can see everything, and it's really well done. The different colors of chips. Cards.
Yeah, and I had a strobe in a large softbox that I used to in front of me that I used to do the lighting, and then I metered that light on the chips to make sure I got the light right. And then I actually had my camera has this one of those pop out LCDs you can turn all the way around, so I could see myself in the picture. So when I set the timer to take the photo.
That's cool.
Yeah. Very nice.
And that's my happy face.
This is also Mike's. This is his Scrabble one, which I got his permission to use for the original post. So I can go back and credit him in it. I just didn't want to credit before people voted. But I love this. I love how you used all the film terms, put our camera club into it, which is why I wanted to use this as our cover for this topic.
And it's perfectly cropped. Yeah, for some reason, Christine's screen is cutting off the bottom Scrabble. But it is perfectly cropped all the way around. There you go. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah, I ran out of terms and the letters that I could think of a few more terms to put on there, but I didn't have the right letter combinations.
I like how you lit it a little bit from the bottom instead of just giving it dead, perfectly on ring light. I like that there's shadows there.
Yeah, that's because I'm standing over the board from the bottom, shooting down at kind of at an angle, and then I fix the perspective crop and perspective in Lightroom. Or
Very cool. What are you doing, Chris?
Oh, I was trying to reply to something over
Yeah,
on
that can wait.
Facebook. There.
Very cool. Very clever.
Sorry.
Okay, what have we done?
Trying to read the stuff on Facebook. and that was the last. Why is it there? I'm like, that's not the last image. This one is by. Why is it showing up like this?
Okay, up the top of the left. Okay, there you go.
This is from Julie Bennett, and I like this. I like the background, the triangles in the background leading in.
Yeah, that really makes this image. Julie, what is we have Julie in studio. What is Julie saying that this name is? What's the name of this photo?
I called it straight because that's what the cards are. For I guess it was 20, no, not 21. I don't know. I don't remember now what game it was, poker. But the board in back is it's a board for another game, and I can't think of the
Is
name
it a
of that.
backgammon game?
Yeah.
Looks like a backgammon board.
The backgammon, that's right.
That's cool.
The whole set is several games with 2 decks of cards, and it's a case that I could open up, and I had that standing up, and then I held the cards to take the shot.
That's cool.
I think it could have just used a little more light on the cards.
Yeah, I had the light shining on the ceiling because I kept getting a reflection.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or I would either get a reflection on the card or I would blow out the back. So and then I tried to adjust in Lightroom, and this was probably the best I could get it.
Hey,
That's nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that background makes this.
Yeah.
If any other background, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Now I can't get it to move on.
Okay, up top
Yeah,
left.
the other thing, I didn't know whether to leave that full diamond in there on the 4 or not. So I played around with that.
I think that was a good choice to include it, not to cut it off.
Can you go back to that
Yeah.
one, Christine?
Yeah, after I played around with it, I said, no, then it cuts off too much of the 4 and not enough of the diamond. So
Yeah,
I left
you'd have
it.
to rearrange them completely, and it wouldn't.
Then it
Beats
wouldn't look
good.
awkward.
good
Very nice.
choice.
Yeah.
This is also Julie's chess.
This is the other half of the case, which is checkers or the chess, which I don't know how to play chess, but I just like these pieces and thought setting them up opposite the colors behind them, the checkers behind them. So,
What did you use to light them? It looks like you had a light to the left.
yes, I did.
Was it a
This
flash
didn't.
or a flashlight or?
No, I have like an LCD light that I paid like
Okay.
$5 for at Walmart, and it's actually a desk light. And I kept adjusting the light so that I could get the shadows because I really like the shadows.
In StreamYard chat, Lewis says he likes the way he's talking about the previous photo with your cards. He said he likes the way the lines guided your eyes down to the cards. And then he says on this one he finds the shadows distracting. which I do agree, because I'm seeing everything looks like the light is on the left, but the black pawn on the right, it looks like it's casting a shadow both to the right and the left.
That's the bishop.
Is it the bishop?
That's the bishop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't think I had any other lights on, but maybe
Yeah,
I
bishop.
did.
Bishop's the one to the left.
Yeah.
That's... Oh, I thought it was king, queen, bishop, knights, but whatever.
Something that would be pretty cool is if you were to take that back, the board, and tilt it back so that everything, you kind of have those perspective, that leaning down perspective. It would also help you with your shadows as well. Either that or move them away.
That's a cool idea. Yeah.
Now, since it's a case with the characters are sitting on,
Oh,
the
is the
pieces are sitting on is actually the side of the board,
oh, gotcha.
the side of the case. So I don't know if I would be able to achieve that, but I might play around with it now that you suggested it.
I hope you try it out.
Yeah,
Very nice, very
Very
nicely
nice.
set up.
thank you.
And let me say one thing. Except for the right bishop, you nailed the position on those pieces perfect. I mean, they look like perfectly mirrored. You spent a lot of time setting those up. Looks like.
I did. I did. More than one time, too.
I just wish the black knight on the left was exactly as much as the white knight on the right. It looks like it's cut off just a little bit more.
That didn't distract me.
But
It looks to me like it's the same amount, but the black sort of gets confused with the background a little.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and the pieces were not actually sized the same either. I noticed that because that, like you said, the black knight, it seems slightly smaller than the white. And then again, I guess because of the way the shadow is, that even makes it look smaller.
Yeah. But very, very nicely done.
Thank you.
And this was mine. These were just different card games that we had that I set up. I thought it was kind of I didn't want to do just playing a card game because I saw some of the other submissions already. So I wanted to do like just different card games that are available. And I tried to get them all in focus, but I was using my macro lens, so that's why the ends of Phase 10 and Uno are out of focus. But
What's the hard vignette on the bottom?
it was in our light box, and there were
Okay.
curves on the side of the light box.
I don't know if I like that or not.
You can fix that in content aware fill.
That's not allowed in this house.
I like this, except I would have liked a little more depth of field. I mean, that exploding kittens looks tack sharp to me. I think I might have liked to see the Phase 10 and Uno one that are closest to me also sharp.
Nice lighting, and its perspective
Yeah.
is perfect, Christine.
Thanks. I meant to. I didn't realize how out of focus the ends of the boxes were till I was done, and I wasn't setting it up again. So.
That's dedication.
Thanks, dear.
Lewis says, let's see. Lewis says a spotlight on the back game and the rest being a little darker might be good. Absolutely.
Yeah. But,
And yes, Christine has a game called Exploding Kittens. We haven't played that in a long time. What's that? What's that game about?
you play until you get the exploding kitten, and you can put it back in if you have certain things to
It's like diffuse cards,
diffuse
right?
it,
Yeah.
or if you get it and you can't diffuse it, then you explode and you lose the game.
Okay.
This is Sequence. It's another game we have, which I liked because it mixes cards with a board game. And so I put it out there and tried to arrange it so that you could see a little bit of everything you used to play it.
I like how the cards have the nice hard shadows. The problem is it's very light on the right, and it kind of fades off to the left. And then that's SR Wild on the top left. I'd say maybe try to clone that out if you don't want to put the whole word in there. Clean that out a little bit. I think you got a winner. But yeah, that lighting. What lighting did you use on that?
I used one of our new flat lights that we got for bodyscapes, and it was closer to the top of the right side, but I was getting too many reflections when I put it directly over.
Okay.
And I was trying to even it out.
Lewis says flip to the left would help the balance. Like a mirror, Lewis?
I don't know.
He's typing. He usually keeps his microphone off because there's a little bit of noise.
But
Yeah, I think it'd been nice if you'd had a second light on the left.
Oh, he's saying
the layout's great, the composition, the focus.
Lewis says just rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then the sequence would be in there. The sequence would be right, and but then your cards would be upside down, not upside down, but your cards would be side to side, which still would work.
yeah, I thought about turning it. I played around with it. I wasn't sure which way I liked it best, and this.
Well, this is your photo. Why don't you turn it?
How do you turn it in Lightroom? Oh, there it is. Whoops. There.
There you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
And that light coming in from the right isn't too terrible because now it's coming in from the top, and it confuses my brain less.
To be correct, the light's not terrible.
Well, it wasn't terrible, but it was the first thing that really stuck out to me.
The change in the way the lighting is works better with it rotated.
Yeah.
I think the bottom being dark is better than the left being dark.
Very nice.
And two of the players are going to see it that way anyway if there's 4 players.
There's just 3 colors, so it's teams that play together, or you play with 3 players or 2 players. But it's a fun game. It's very interesting. Elaine likes this rotation better also over on Facebook. This is John's.
This is one of these plastic balls that have a little ball bearing in it. And you have to start it at 1, and you've got to move this ball around. And when I first got it, it took me about a couple days to get from start to finish, but I haven't really had the patience to do it more. And the outside protective covering of this is a little extra lumpy because usually when the ball you get so far and the ball falls off the track, you usually toss the damn thing back in the box. But this is it's one of those Perplexus balls that you've got just by moving your hands, you move it throughout the track.
Over on Facebook, Mary Lou says this would be better if it was if the center sequence and the crop out the left.
She's talking about the sequence. Your board game, yeah.
Oh, okay. Christina says this one's her favorite.
Oh, thank you, Christine. Lewis says, interesting, his eye pops the center of the circular piece. Yeah, this thing is such a mix of just confusion. So that was the one that I focused on because that's like a spiral thing. You've got to spiral it to get it to the outside, to get the ball to the outside. They're fun. You can get them pretty cheap on Amazon.
I like this. I love the colors and the macro aspects.
How big is it?
It's about the size of a bowling ball, but it's real light.
Yeah, it's all plastic. There's a clear outer ball and then the tracks on the inside.
Yeah, it's neat. It's a pretty neat little thing.
Susan says she thought it was pieces from the game Mousetrap.
Oh, that would have been interesting. Has anybody ever played Mousetrap? Or did you just set the thing up and bring the trap?
I never had it.
I had it as a kid, and I couldn't tell you how the game was played at all because that was way too long ago.
Nobody can remember how the darn game was played. We just took you so long to set the darn thing up. You trigger it and you throw it all back in the darn box.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wild. I think I did a little bit of a reverse lens vignette on there. I think I lightened the edges, the corners on this a little bit, if I remember correctly, because it just seemed kind of flat. But other than that, that was it. And it was in our light box that Christine photographed the other stuff in.
Over on Facebook, Dolphy says she used to play Mousetrap.
You actually played the game, Dolphy, from start to finish?
She said she played it.
That's cool.
Christina says she always sprang the trap.
Right. That's the cool thing.
Typical Christine.
Yeah.
Christina.
Okay. This one's also John's.
Ball in a cup. Mexico's favorite toy for over 400 years. And these really aren't board games or card games, but they're what I call board games, BORED. And we don't really have that many board games here. But this is always a fun one.
On your
Thank God
last
they invented the internet.
on your last one, Susan says Bob said nice use of out of focus to frame the center spiral.
Oh, thank you. It's really that thing is just so complex. It's hard to it would be hard to not frame something in that thing.
I like your cup and ball.
Go ahead.
I like your cup and ball and the different colors and the way you have the ball sitting next to it and the way you zoomed in on it.
Yeah.
It would help to have more contrast for the string. that
Yeah.
holds the ball. It kind of fades into the background, and you have to look at it a few times to figure it out.
Yeah, I agree with that. And
I would have
I've
liked to
vignetted.
seen it on black.
Oh yeah.
I
Or
could have
dark blue, maybe. Something that really made it pop.
That would have been nice. Yeah, good idea.
Any other comments?
Lewis says the highlights are interesting and also likes the slight vignette. Yeah, that's the this product photography box has the LED strips on each side.
I like the way the lighting circles the center of the.
I was going to
cup.
clone that out, but then I just got too lazy. But then I started liking it like this.
I like it. And then the way it also, you kind of have an inner image of an inner cup with the light.
Oh, yeah. Christine would like to remind you, Mike, that she can hear you over in chat. And Susan says the way you play the game, you set up the trap and players take turns. And I think the one that gets trapped is the loser, right?
I think.
Dolphy says try propping the cup up on the ball. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
I like that. What did I call this?
You
think this is
call
like-
this Rubik's Canine Edition.
Rubik's Cube Canine Edition, because dogs are not supposed to see color apparently. Because I didn't like the look of it with all the colors. It was just way too noisy and busy for me. So I changed it over to black and white, and man, I liked it a lot.
I like it.
It just gave me an idea. I have a cube that my brother gave me. It's called the Polish cube. All the faces are white.
I like that.
Once you move it from its original position, you can never get it back.
I like that.
We're allowed to make Polish jokes.
Yeah. But it was interesting. I went through a bunch of different iterations of how far I twisted it, and this won out. This won out really, really good.
Mary Lou says it's really nice, John.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I like all the positioning on it. It makes you look at it for a while.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Julie.
So was this just a two-color cube or
Nope, it's a normal Rubik's Cube.
It's what
normal
they-
cube, but several of the colors?
They're all
look
mixed
the
up.
same.
Yeah, it's all mixed up. This is it's not a real Rubik's. It's called a competition cube. It's so that you can do it fast. Of course, I can't do them fast, but
Yeah, I know.
but yeah, all the colors are actually and the colors are more exaggerated than a normal Rubik's cube, which is why another reason I didn't like them.
Somewhere, I have, before you ever heard of a Rubik's Cube, I have a set of, we saw one and we had a set of instructions done mathematically by Howard Penn.
Hmm.
He found it over in Hungary or somewhere and brought it and wrote out some mimeographed instructions for it.
That's all it is. All it is an algorithm. You know, wherever you see a color you need, there's certain turns, and as long as you remember these like 7 moves,
It's group theory.
right?
They could work it out without, yeah.
And some of these kids that do these competitions, like I said, I like doing it. I like playing with it, just playing with it. But some of these kids will solve a completely randomized one under like 20 seconds. It's unreal.
Yep. Can't move that fast.
I've looked at it so long that the colors look like they have rounded corners and square corners.
They do. The outsides have the squares, and the insides are more rounded.
So,
Never noticed that.
So does that help you solve the puzzle?
I think that's part of the. I think the Rubik's doesn't have those rounded. Like I said, this is meant for people to do really fast, and if you don't have it perfectly lined up, and you start twisting it, that's what the round thing does. The round thing kind of lines you back up. Lewis in chat says his eye travels from the lower right up and down to the lower left. Up and down to the lower. Yeah, I can see it.
This would be a good leading lines one, dear.
Well, I don't know what it's leading to.
And John, there are 6 colors on this one, just like a normal
Are
cube.
there?
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
Susan was asking how many colors are in the cube.
Shades of gray.
She said to her it only looks like there's 2 colors.
Yeah, the grays. It's you can see a little bit of difference in the gray, but maybe over on Facebook it's not as easily detectable.
And then Dolphy says the cube looks like it's walking.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Mary Lou agrees.
Dolphy says no. In Mousetrap, you put the pieces together and you go around the board. When the trap is finished, the mouse that lands on the square under the trap has to start the trap. That's interesting. Cool. Thanks, everybody.
And let's go do the last chest one first.
And now this I like a lot. And I wouldn't have noticed that the opposition was frosted versus these being unfrosted if I didn't see that other image, but I appreciate it even more knowing that.
And this one I like the reflection on.
This is the best of 3 to me.
Yeah.
I agree.
But is it level, or is it just my head crooked? But yeah, this is the best of the 3 of them to me.
It looks like it is at an angle a little bit.
I
Yeah,
can
and
never
then,
tell.
and then that reflection on the left-hand side, right at the edge of the board, I think also makes it look even more uneven.
Right in here.
Yeah. Now the problem is, I would have loved to seen the king and queen switch. I know that's traditionally not it, so you run the risk of having people that know chess yell at you, or having a more kind of pleasing to the eye image. What does everybody think about that?
Having the king on the left and the queen on the right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like it this way.
Why would they yell at you?
Because in traditional chess, the king's on the same side, but in here I was proposing the background king and queen switch them to give a little bit more balance.
He might have been going for like a shadow effect with those, or a ghosting effect with those.
Oh
So
yeah.
maybe he would have taken those pawns out in the back and just left the 5, 6 pieces he's showing in the front, that I think would have made a really fantastic image.
That's interesting.
Over on Facebook, Mary Lou says, yeah, I like this one the best. Elaine says, beautiful. And Mary Lou says, yeah, but it wouldn't be as cool. I'm not sure what that one's referring to.
Lewis in StreamYard chat says, it's nice, but he would have cropped the bottom more and leveled it out.
Leveled out might have been better, and maybe cutting off this little piece over here, because you don't really have it also over here. It just seems you have a little more space on this side than on this side.
Yeah. Would that reflection be better if he were to put like a black gradient on that? That way, it's not as abruptly cut off.
Maybe. Not totally sure.
And I'm almost wondering now. I'm trying to figure out what he's lighting that with, because that light pollution under the night on the left, on the corner of the board, it makes me think maybe that he's not shining it up from the bottom.
Yeah, it looks like it's coming from the side, but there's one on each side, because even though it looks different, there is that bright night on the right as well.
I wonder if he's got either a UV flashlight or a UV little pen light that he's using for both of those.
I don't know.
It might not even be purple. He may have colored these himself. He may have tinted them in Photoshop. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think he did that. I think this is close to out of camera.
That's cool.
I still like it. It's really well done.
Very nice, David.
Mary Lou, whenever she said it wouldn't be as cool if you exchanged the king and queen on the opposite side, she likes how they reflect how they're like symmetric.
Well, Mary Lou might be a chess player too, and she might yell at us because of that too.
And then last but not least, this is mine, and this is Catan. And I just set up the board like it would be at the beginning of the game and tried to center it and took a square picture of it.
What's the name of this game? It looks familiar, but I don't remember.
Catan.
Settlers of Catan. It's an interesting game. It's a fun game.
It takes a little bit of strategy, and you have to build roads, and you have to get points and stuff, and it's fun.
I think this is an observation of all the board games we photograph from straight above. I just don't think they have as much energy as some of the other pictures that were taken at angles.
Yeah.
I like this one, and I can't tell you why, but maybe it's the shapes and it's the pictures within the shapes, the colors. I don't know. I really like it.
Doug is saying there is a slice of a piece on the back left, and it could have been removed. I'm not entirely sure what you mean, Doug.
I think he means the right. This white piece over in the middle of the right.
This?
That's a
The one
village.
that's cut off, yeah.
Yeah, a village and a road. Now I see part of the table on the top right, and I see a part of the table on the bottom left as well. So
Yeah.
maybe he's talking about that.
I don't know.
I was trying to keep it square to keep the whole center together.
Yeah, nice job on the perspective. On Facebook, it looks like you've cut off the bottom, but I know you didn't. Can you zoom out a little bit?
Let's see. Nope.
Let me look at your screen. Oh yeah, she's there. You go. That's much better. Even though it's still a little off balance, but now what did you say, Mike, about the top down? Did you like the top down on this one?
Well, I think not specific to this one. I just an observation of all the games we photograph looking straight down on them. I just think they didn't have as much energy as some of the other photos.
Now this with the interesting patterns, I like this one straight down more than the others. But absolutely, I agree. I would love to see different angles from low and sweeping across the board more.
I think Elaine wishes these pieces on the right weren't there.
Ah,
Yeah, I would remove those pieces just because they hit the edge.
yeah.
Or put them somewhere else.
Good
I
observation.
don't know the game, so I don't know the logic.
We like playing it. The problem is you need at least 3 people, and people don't like
This
playing with
has
us.
nice shadows, though, with the lighting from the top left.
Yeah.
This was the same lighting I used for the sequence, but I rotated this one so that the numbers. So it's lit from the top also, like the sequence was once I rotated it.
Yeah, it's nice light. And you had the lights horizontal, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You can
I
tell the
think it's
quality
the
of the
top
shadows.
row.
Yeah.
Top, you know.
Where the far part of the shadow is pretty sharp, and the side shadows are nice and soft. It's nice. Great
Bob.
quality light.
Bob says maybe a wider view so that none of the pieces in the number tiles are cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get up high enough to get more than this, so this is what I used.
Yeah, Lewis said something about cropping on the right, but I don't think it needs a crop. It just needs those pieces moved.
Right.
Because the pattern is nice with the 6 pieces around the hexagon, and they're balanced about right.
Yeah, it's nice. Susan says that her and Bob play it with their son. That's cool. We usually don't find any other Catan players.
We're not advanced at all, but we have fun playing it.
Chris likes to pedal the sheep.
Is there some way we can play it across Zoom?
Wow, I really don't know, but man, that'd be a good idea for a board game
Yeah.
night.
There's a lot of card games you can play on.
That's interesting.
I know a couple of sites that have all kinds of card games.
It'd be fun if we found a virtual Catan board. That would be a lot of fun. I don't know if there is one.
I don't know.
It's a popular game if you play it, but it can be a lot of fun. And as you see, there's red, blue, orange, and white. So it's a 4-player game. Or you can play as teams. And those were all our images for tonight. Our winner was Poker by Mike on our voting over on.
Woohoo!
Doug also says he would like to play Catan online sometime.
I just guilted people into voting for me since you knew it was me.
That's awesome.
It really was it was between that one or the Clue one. So there were a bunch who had 3 votes, but those or 4 votes. I think by the end of it, someone else had gone through and voted. But yeah, well done.
Very nice, Mike. Good job.
I like the Rubik's Cube, too.
Oh, thank you, Rich.
That's more fine art.
But we had a lot of fun. I hope everyone enjoyed tonight. And thank you for joining us.
Everybody on StreamYard, can you just double check your private chat, because now that you're sitting at your computer at your cameras and your microphones, I'd ask you if you can help me try out a different service for possible future streams. But Christine, I think you're
And
good
it
to close
looks like there is Catan.com
Stream, just help me.
has the game online.
Justy. Okay, click on that.
Yeah, when we're done, Rich.
Okay, when we're done.
Tonight, thank you everyone for entering. Please join us next week for our program from Greg Holden on leading lines. And remember that on November 19th, we will be having our fundraiser. Brian Buru's the menu is on the Facebook page, and it's also been emailed out to everyone.
Please make sure you send this. I know everyone has sent. We had so many people send this to friends and family. We had 10 people on our side between us that just were interested in going. So the more you send this out to friends and family, they're going to enjoy a good night of food, and it helps the club immensely. So please take a look at that menu. It's an announcement on the Arundel Camera Club Facebook group. Please forward that to your friends and family, and the more people we get to come join us, the better. And it's a great night of food. I believe there's also oyster and beer specials, and the menu just can't be beat.
Yeah, it's a 3-course meal for $25. $10 of every meal comes back to our club. So, and you can order to eat there, or you can order it on their online website and take it home, and it still benefits our club. So, please support us. Have your friends support us, and it's a great menu, and the food there is really good.
Excellent.
Thank you for joining us tonight, and we will see you again next week. Thank you. Good night,
everybody.